This video is dedicated to Alan Turing and all the other British heroes who served in the defence of liberty during the Second World War. Hello everybody and welcome to this latest episode of the Money Man News. Now if you've looked at the title or you know about Alan Turing himself, then you have a very good idea as to what this video is going to be about. Of course, I'm going to talk about the newest addition to the British family of polymer banknotes, and that is the £50 note. And here it is. So, this is going to be the final and highest denomination in the current circulating series, and it's due for release in about 80 days. So I'm very excited to get hold of this wonderful, wonderful banknote, because originally this banknote was never going to be created. That's right. A few years ago there was a story circulating in the British press saying that the Bank of England were in talks and they were basically thinking about discontinuing the £50 denomination because of worries over money laundering. And if you've ever visited the UK as a tourist, or if you're like me, you're an expat that lives abroad and you go home every now and again, and you try and spend a £50 note in the shops, sometimes it's a little bit difficult because there is a stigma about £50 notes, and that stigma centres around money laundering and also the worry that it might be fake, because apparently the £50 note is the most faked of the banknotes. Obviously, being of the highest value, it would make sense if you're a counterfeiter to go and fake, the highest denomination. So there is a bit of a stigma. However, this new polymer banknote might put that stigma to rest, hopefully. Who knows? Because it is much more sophisticated than its cotton predecessor. So yes, I'm hoping that it will end the stigma. But what you'll find is that ATMs in the UK generally, unless it's a Forex ATM at an airport, generally they don't issue spit out £50 notes. And you'll find that British people seldom see them, never mind use them. So it's a bit of an unusual denomination when thinking about British currency. You're going to see lots of £5 notes, £10 notes and £20 notes if you visit the UK. It's more than likely, unless you get it from a bureau de change, you're never going to see a £50 note. So it's a really weird denomination in many respects for British people. However, this one should be a really nice addition for us collectors. Now, I'm not going to talk about the design elements on the obverse because I've covered those in detail when I've done reviews of the 5, 10 and £20 notes, and it looks very similar to those. There's a great continuity in the design of the obverse of the banknotes. However, what I want to do is focus on the security strip to the left, and you can see that we've got the crown, which is a raised surface and a security feature of this banknote, and you see it on all the 4 denominations in this series. And just below that we've got a little window frame, and then we've got these 2 sort of spiral sun shapes. We've got a circle with the denomination of 50 in the middle, with these spirals emanating from the middle, made up of 50s. And nestled in between those sort of spiral shapes, you actually have some computer circuitry. And you can see 2 microchips, one with the pound sterling sign and one with the denomination of 50. And that is a huge hint as to what the theme of this banknote is. Now, if you don't know anything about Alan Turing, it will all become clear very soon. Just to the left of those images, you can see Queen Elizabeth II in a sort of a circular oval shape with £50 Bank of England. And just below, you can see Britannia. Now, Britannia is the official logo of the Bank of England, but Britannia is also an iconic symbol of the British peoples and the British nation. And it kind of annoys me that she's been relegated to the bottom left corner and features she features very little on this banknote. She's tiny. On previous British banknotes, she used to feature much more prominently. So it annoys me. And I hope that's something that they change in the future on later designs of British banknotes. That's my only criticism. I would like to see Britannia featured much more prominently, as Britannia is the symbol of the British peoples and British nationhood. But that is my only criticism. I love the colour scheme of this banknote. I think it's absolutely wonderful and very much in keeping with the colour scheme of the £50 notes seen in previous series. Now, let's have a look at the reverse. Now you can see on the reverse that we've got this wonderful portrait of Alan Turing. Now Alan Turing was a British mathematician who excelled in areas of coding, ciphers, decoding, cryptography, all that kind of stuff. He was very, very interested in those things. And when Britain declared war on Germany after Germany invaded Poland in 1939, Britain mobilized all of its resources to fight the war in conventional and unconventional ways. And Alan Turing was hired by the British intelligence services, and he was employed at Bletchley Park. Now, Bletchley Park is almost world famous now because it was part of Britain's intelligence apparatus during the war. And Alan Turing and his team were given a very, very difficult challenge. What they had to do was they had to basically break the code that the Germans were using to encrypt their wartime messages. And the task before them was absolutely monumental. But Alan Turing developed a machine which you can see just behind him, this huge computing machine, which could actually decipher the German codes that had been encrypted with the famous Enigma machine. Now, the Enigma machine was developed in Germany, and it was used to code all of Germany's wartime messages. And Turing devised this machine that can actually decode those Enigma encrypted messages, and then basically print out messages in legible German, which were then translated by translators who were on site when the messages came through in real time. So the achievement of this man cannot be overstated, not only in terms of Britain's wartime effort, but also in terms of modern day computing. This man basically gave birth to modern computing. So he's changed our lives in ways that we cannot really fully comprehend. So he gave a gift of his intellect and his innovation not just to the British people during their time of greatest need, but he gave something to humanity, technology, that has changed our lives in incredible and even now in new ways almost every day. So I think it's difficult, nigh on impossible, to overstate his achievements. He is a great, great man, and I'm very happy that the Bank of England decided to feature him on the reverse of this banknote, because they actually did a poll where you could choose which scientific personality you wanted on the reverse of the new £50 note, and straight away I chose Alan Turing, and I'm very, very happy that that desire came to fruition, and he won, and he was put on the reverse of this banknote. So you can see a lot of small design elements that actually are about Turing's life. They're about his sort of intellectual ideas, his intellectual property, his designs, blueprints for his designs, the machines he devised, some of the sort of plans that he created. All of that is nestled in here. Equations that explain his work, all that is in this banknote. Now, if you want to know more about this, I suggest you follow the link in the description and look at the Bank of England's press release, because it explains this in much more detail, much more succinctly than I can. Okay, so I'm not going to go into it. But you can do that for yourself, and I highly recommend it. If you want to know more about Alan Turing himself, I highly recommend watching the movie The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch. Very, very good film that gives you a really good idea as to the trials and tribulations that this man went through during his remarkable but sadly, tragically cut short life. He's a very special man. He's a very special man, and a man who I have a lot of appreciation for. So, I think this is an incredible addition to the British polymer banknote family, and I can't wait to get hold of examples of this banknote, which I will be doing hopefully in a couple of months when it's released. So, very, very exciting to have this series completed. Now, I would love to know what you think about this banknote. I think it's a really interesting banknote because it's not just about British history. Like I said, it's about human development as well. And I think that is really encapsulated in the quote that is under Mr. Turing, which says, "This is only a foretaste of what is to come, and only the shadow of what is going to be." How true were those words, my lord. This man had some vision, and I think that is worthy of celebration. So there we go. So that's everything that I have for you today. I can't wait to show you real examples of this wonderful banknote. And then I'm going to do a re-review of the entire series, because this will complete that series. So let me know what you think about this in the comments section. I know I haven't uploaded any videos for some time, but I'm hoping to do quite a few over the next few days. So please do bear with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. It's the Money Man signing out for now. Bye bye.